For 4,380 days, a legal countdown has been ticking, and on April 18th, it finally hit zero. To understand why Suri Cruise turning 18 is a nightmare for Hollywood's most powerful elite, we have to go back to 2012. This wasn't a normal divorce, it was a covert operation. Katie Holmes didn't just call a lawyer, she used a disposable burner phone provided by a friend to orchestrate a blindside so shocking it was settled in just 11 days. Why the rush? Because of a rumored ironclad agreement designed to keep Tom Cruise's secrets buried and his daughter within the fold. For 12 years, that document allegedly dictated everything, from child support payments of $400,000 a year to strict silence on Scientology. But as of her birthday, Suri is legally an adult. The child support has stopped, the custody rules are gone, and for the first time, the girl who was hidden away is free to speak. The only question left is, what will she say?
To understand why this birthday was so dangerous for Tom, we have to go back to 2012. The public saw a happy couple, but behind closed doors, Katie Holmes was planning a covert operation that would make a spy movie look amateur. She didn't just call a lawyer, that was too risky. She knew her every move was likely being tracked. So she borrowed a disposable burner phone from a friend to secretly contact legal teams in 3 different states. She recruited her father, a shrewd divorce attorney, to help orchestrate a precision strike. While Tom was thousands of miles away in Iceland shooting Oblivion, Katie executed her plan. She fled their home, fired the driver and bodyguard who were loyal to Tom, and vanished into a secret apartment in New York City she'd rented weeks in advance.
Tom was completely blindsided. But why the extreme measures? Because Katie wasn't just leaving a marriage, she was escaping an ideology. She was terrified of what was coming for her daughter. Suri had just turned 6 years old, the specific age in Scientology where children reportedly begin auditing, a process involving intense interrogation and security checks to root out secrets. Katie refused to let that happen. The escape was just the first step. The real battle was the settlement. To keep Suri, Katie had to sign an ironclad NDA, agreeing never to speak negatively about Scientology or Tom's personal life. She effectively traded her voice for her daughter's freedom. 11 days, that is all it took. In the world of Hollywood divorces, that speed is absolutely unheard of. Usually, these battles drag on for years, bleeding bank accounts dry. So why did this one end so fast? Because Katie Holmes had a master plan. She didn't want a war. She wanted sole custody. She wanted Suri out. To secure her daughter's future, Katie signed an ironclad agreement. And yes, it came with a price tag. For the last 12 years, Tom Cruise has paid $400,000 a year in child support. That breaks down to roughly $33,000 every single month. Over the course of Suri's childhood, that totals nearly $5 million. This cash covered the essentials of a celebrity upbringing: medical bills, insurance, and expensive private education. But here is the twist. That specific financial lifeline has a deadline. The moment Suri turned 18, those child support checks stopped coming. While Tom is reportedly still covering her college tuition at Carnegie Mellon, the direct payments to Katie are officially over. The mandatory legal tie that bound them for over a decade is cut. If you are enjoying this deep dive, please hit the like button. It is free and really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss the next update. With the money gone and the contract expired, does the silence go too? That is the question everyone is asking.
We need to talk about why Katie ran in the first place. It wasn't because the spark faded or they simply fell out of love. It was about Suri's future. There is a hardline faction within Tom's belief system called the Sea Org. It is a strictly disciplined order where members, including children, sign a billion-year contract, effectively pledging their eternal service. They are often separated from their families and live in communal military-style conditions.
Rumors swirled that Tom wanted Suri to be indoctrinated into this group or sent to a Scientology-based school to begin her training. Katie looked at her 6-year-old daughter and said no. She chose to blow up her own life to save her child from that fate. It was a calculated, high-stakes exit. She used disposable burner phones to secretly hire lawyers in 3 different states, blinding Tom with a divorce filing in New York, where the courts would be more likely to grant her sole custody. For her trouble, she was treated like a villain by Tom's camp. They accused her of playing the media and launched a smear campaign, painting her as unstable and calculated. They tried to ruin her reputation. But she took it all. She took the hits so Suri could have a normal childhood. Because of that sacrifice, Suri got to go to a Catholic school instead of a re-education center. She got to have real friends. She got to eat ice cream on the street in New York without handlers watching her every move. But sadly, the price of saving Suri was that Suri had to lose her dad. Tom has reportedly not seen his daughter in over a decade. This is the most heartbreaking part of the story. You've seen the photos of Tom Cruise. He is always smiling at premieres. He is flying jets. He is jumping off cliffs. But look closely at what is missing. Suri. The last confirmed public photo of Tom and Suri together was at Disney World in August 2012. That is over a decade ago. Since then, the silence has been deafening. He has missed birthdays. He has missed holidays. When Suri went to her senior prom in 2024, dazzling in a corset dress, her father wasn't there to take a picture. When she walked across the stage for her high school graduation days later, he was 3,000 miles away in London, spotted dancing at a Taylor Swift concert. In a 2013 court deposition, Tom actually admitted he hadn't seen his daughter in over 100 days. But why? The answer likely lies in a terrifying rule within his church called disconnection. Critics say that because Katie Holmes left the church to protect her daughter, she was labeled a suppressive person. According to former members, if you are an SP, you are toxic, you are the enemy, and faithful members, even fathers, must cut all ties. So for 12 years, Suri has essentially grown up with a ghost. He provides the money, paying reportedly $400,000 a year in child support, but he does not provide the presence. And that rejection has left a mark. When Suri graduated, the name on the pamphlet didn't say Suri Cruise, it read Suri Noel. She didn't just graduate from high school, she graduated from him. April 18th wasn't just a birthday. In the hidden borders of Hollywood's legal world, it was a ticking time bomb that finally reached zero. For over a decade, the silence surrounding Tom Cruise and his estranged daughter has been deafening. And that silence wasn't accidental, it was likely purchased. When Katie Holmes executed her masterstroke of a divorce in 2012, she secured her freedom, but it came at a steep price. Industry insiders have long speculated that her settlement included an ironclad non-disclosure agreement. The terms, likely a ban on speaking about Scientology, a ban on criticizing Tom, and a ban on spilling the tea, in exchange for primary custody and child support. Katie held up her end of the bargain. She hasn't spoken a word about him in 12 years. She took the secrets to the grave of her marriage to keep her daughter safe. But contracts have a fatal flaw. They only bind the people who sign them. Suri Cruise never signed a thing. On April 18th, she turned 18, and the legal shackles that bound her mother dissolved for her. The child support payments, $400,000 a year, have stopped, and so has the legal obligation for silence. Suri is now a legal adult with a lifetime of receipts and zero legal restrictions. She can write the memoir, she can sit on that couch with Oprah, she can dismantle the carefully curated image of the Top Gun savior with a single interview. For the first time in her life, the most powerful weapon in this saga isn't Tom's legal team, it's Suri's voice. So what will she do next? We already have the answer, and it is absolutely devastating for Tom Cruise.
The clue appeared quietly, printed in black and white on a high school playbill, but its impact is screaming louder than any tabloid headline. Recently, Suri took the stage for her school's production of Head Over Heels, but when the program was opened, the name Suri Cruise was nowhere to be found. Instead, she introduced herself to the world as Suri Noel.
The choice is surgical. Noel is her mother, Katie Holmes' middle name. By adopting it, she is not just taking a stage name, she is publicly severing the last tether to her father. For 12 years, the silence between them has been deafening. A childhood spent entirely in her mother's orbit, while Tom remained a distant superstar. Now, at 18, Suri is letting her actions speak. She is packing her bags for Carnegie Mellon University, charting a future in design that owes nothing to Hollywood fame or her father's influence. While Tom was reportedly attending the Eras Tour during her graduation weekend, Suri was finalizing her new identity. She is stepping out of the shadow of Cruise and into the light as her mother's daughter, finally and completely free.